Yeah, hey Doug. I think kind of along what John was trying to ask was I think they went on a 24-2 run there in the fourth quarter. I mean, is that just kind of I don't know. I know you mentioned at the Florida game that depth and fatigue wasn't really an issue in that, but did that play a role here? Was Kentucky just kind of firing on all cylinders?
I thought we played about 3.5 quarters of really good basketball, and then Kentucky really did make some plays. And in order to win these types of games, you got to be able to end a possession, and you got to do it with a loose ball. You got to do it with a defensive rebound, and they got, I think it was probably close to 9 offensive rebounds in that quarter, and which ended up in being a lot of fouls and going to the free throw line. So maybe we were a half second slow getting to the ball. Maybe they were a few inches taller to grab a couple of those rebounds, but we did not make the necessary plays to end possessions on that defensive end. It wasn't like we weren't guarding their actions. We weren't guarding the ball off the rim when they missed. And then we had a couple costly turnovers just right around the bucket that hurt. But again, it was about 3.5 quarters of really good basketball the way we'd want to play it. And then we just did not make the plays to finish the way we needed to.
How much do you think that, not to, talk about depth constantly, I know you've heard plenty about it, but like 4 games in a 7-day span? I mean, is that going to be kind of a concern for you, not just tonight, but kind of moving forward with how you guys split up those minutes with few teams, a few members of the team?
Yeah, I wish I had a different answer that I could give you. I mean, yeah, it's a big concern, to be honest with you, and it probably wore us out a little bit down the stretch. I thought our legs were pretty good. I thought we had managed it a little bit, but for the first time, they were a little bit quicker to the ball than we were, and I wish I had some other answer, and I don't want to rely on, we got fatigued, because that's just an easy way out. But, the answer probably is yes.
John, let's try it again.
All right, Doug, you got me?
Yeah.
Okay. Just kind of what was like the frustration level after this game in the locker room and with your team afterwards?
Oh, it was high, and it should be high. When you have a chance and you kind of controlled the game for the long portion, and then to have it slip away like that, it's going to hurt. There's going to be some frustration, and I think that's all normal. And I think you should have pain after something like that. Now the beauty is, I'm going to have it. They're going to have it. We're going to let them have it. But you can only have it for so long, because we got another game coming up here. And so, normal grieving process, have at it. We'll all be kind of babies for a little bit, and then we need to mature and get ready for that next one. But, we're not going to sugarcoat this thing and pretend that it's all good. We're a happy little unit. We are happy with the direction that we're going, but that loss hurts, and all losses hurt.
Andy, go ahead.
Hey, Doug, the press they pulled out a couple of times tonight in various moments, but how do you think that, I guess impacted the way you guys even just ran an offense, the fact that you got down the court with 20 seconds on the clock sometimes instead of a full shot clock?
I thought early on it bothered us because we weren't going through the normal progressions that you would go through. You got to make pretty quick decisions, up the court, in the middle, and then diagonal. And we held that ball and started dribbling diagonally for some reason. So, but overall, I thought we kind of sliced through that thing pretty well for about 3.5 quarters. It was just down the stretch we had a crazy inbound, and I don't know what we were doing, and maybe we panicked a little bit and ran everybody to the ball, which is the last thing you ever want to do. You want to spread the floor out. And so that accounted for 1 turnover. But I thought once we got a feel for it, we started to break it a little bit better, and then we started to score at a fairly high rate offensively. Yeah, we shot like 49% from the field, so not too bad. But a couple those turnovers hurt us, and we didn't turn them over. But it's hard getting out when there's some serious matchup problems that we have to give up players for. and so sometimes it's hard to turn people over because we can't get out and deny those wings.
It seemed like maybe part of that run in the fourth quarter came with, at least it started with Anastasia on the bench with those 4 fouls. I mean, how difficult is it, when you have a player like her when she's on the bench with foul issues? And I know, Maya fouled out. I've struck a goal with 4 fouls, and you're dealing with a lot of players that are kind of in that realm of technically could foul out.
Yeah, the goal of every game is to finish it with 5, and then we move from there. So, yeah, I never want Annie on the bench. I never want any of them on the bench, but sometimes we have to sit them for just a little bit, as long as we can. But yeah, it does not help the cause to have her sitting on the bench at any point in time.
Got time for one more? Andy, if you got one more for us?
Yeah, I mean, I think Ryan Howard obviously is the big name, but it was really Edwards kind of came in big especially in that second half for Kentucky. What did she kind of do in that second half that kind of caused issues?
Yeah, and she did against Alabama that last game too. I mean, ever since she's come back, I think she's playing pretty good basketball. She's a big, strong body, has the ability to make some shots around the rim, and got us in some foul trouble. Again, I thought we laid our hands back pretty well a few times. I thought she dislodged us a few times. We just got to be a little bit tougher, a little bit lower, and build that wall and absorb that. But she was just more powerful than we were at that spot at times, and so that ended up being the better mismatch for them. And then Howard was just was great on the glass. She's a big time athlete that can go get balls, and so I don't know how much she really scored or anything, but she consumed some balls, and again, you get down at the end of the game, it is about possessions, who can get those loose balls, who can end a possession, and unfortunately tonight Kentucky came out on the better end of that.